Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you for joining me here. Hope you're having a phenomenal day. Let's take a quick look here at SUI, as people like to call it. I like the acronym SUI because it's a ticker symbol, but that's just me personally. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Let's take a quick look. We can see our local point of control at 355, holding like a champ at that resistance. So when I talked about yesterday, 360 being that resistance level for us, that wasn't a joke, folks. That was legitimate. Okay, so closing below that effectively, we have to consider that to be a new resistance for us. Okay, so we're going to take a quick look at the back and liquidation data, kind of see what's going on here. And if you could, please hit that good old like button down below, folks. Do that every single time you watch my videos. Helps grow the channel, gets us in front of more people, and helps prevent Moon Boys from getting you destroyed. Right now, don't get me wrong, I love this coin, but I'm not emotionally invested in it, and you shouldn't be either. It's just a simple way to understand it. Now, abstractly, we're looking here. We can see 320 is that local support range I've talked about previously. So the price does continue to down lower, which there's a lot of incentive there based on liquidation. That would be a solid place or pivot point there for us if we don't continue to trend down towards $3. Now, once more, 320 has some confluence. I'll talk about that on the charts here shortly. But the easy way to understand it here is liquidation deltas high to the downside, effectively telling us we have about 500 million in liquidation short delta. That implies there's a lot more people with shorts than longs. And what does that mean for us? Well, that means you don't go against the grain. You don't be that magical person that tries to buy the dip and doesn't secure profits. If you do, and you did buy the dip and you're in profit right now, maybe consider taking profits. I don't know if you know this, but no trader is ever going to be successful if they don't secure profits. Anyways, just some friendly advice there. Once more, spot bags versus leverage bags, totally different stories. All right, if you're trading leverage, take profits. If you're trading spot, add to your spot bag as the price goes down. I've averaged in myself pretty heavy in the low $2 range, but I'm happy with that. This is my long-term hold. I'm going to hold for a while. That's just me personally. All right, 340. We can see that's the local area here of open interest. That's kind of the heaviest concentration here. So there is some support at 340. We talked about that yesterday being a kind of a secondary area where 320 is that tertiary area of support. All that being said though, a lot of resistance at 360 and 370. We don't want to be ridiculous and take a long to 370 or $4. It doesn't make a ton of sense right now. Bitcoin doesn't bottom out. We're going to see SUI continue to run. All right. So daily time frame, there's not much here really telling us we're going to see a shift in momentum. All right. Now, when it comes to a shift in momentum, what I'm referring to is we're still pretty bullish. All right. Just because we're coming closer to 70 in the RSI doesn't mean you flip short. It just implies you probably want to secure profits on your long position. Okay, I would imagine some of you are long on the 180, 190 range, maybe even low to mid $2 range. Secure some profits. You're going to get eaten up on fees if you leave it open for too long if it's a leverage trade. You got to recognize that. Speaking of fees and leverage, this community is phenomenal. Check out Bitunix, folks. Link down below. They have a nice deposit reward bonus this month here for the next 2 weeks starting tomorrow. So make sure you take advantage of that. Links down below there. Now, the reason why I like to mention that is just because we use them as an exchange and they are very healthy and beneficial for our community. So it's the only reason why you're ever going to hear me talk about them. They've been good to us, so I want to just push forward the goodness there for you. Either way, daily time frame, support range, we got roughly 285 to 310. That's that macro support range. I don't think we got to worry too much about that for the moment. We got to see how this support here at 340 holds. You can kind of see a local bottom. We may potentially bounce from here or pivot. We had a pretty solid recovery here, right here. But the truth is Bitcoin's on its way down, has more propensity to continue lower based on it breaking its short-term ascending trend with this rising wedge pattern. And there's a lot of reasons for that. Okay, so if you've seen my Bitcoin video or analysis or you haven't, maybe consider watching that, because if you don't know what Bitcoin is doing, you're basically shooting in the dark with altcoins. Altcoin dominance too, by the way, folks, is super high right now. While it's tapering off, it's still consistently going upwards right now. 70% is my expectation for that resistance range for us. Well, it's a conversation for another day, but this does factor into this coin. It does imply we could see further downside. 4-hour time frame, to quickly note, we're under 50 in the RSI, generally not a favorable sign to take a long into that. You're trading into resistance, okay? This is a descending trend. 1 and 1 equals 2. It's very simple math, very simple structure here. You don't trade against it. Now, I know this coin is volatile and will recover quickly against most other coins. It also dumps pretty fast too, okay? Yesterday we were joking about this in our community, but there was like what was it? It was like in 1 minute there was a 5% dump on this coin. Granted, Bitcoin pulled back by 2.5%, so we're roughly 2x to the downside, but it's still not really good math. Okay, now that really just implies leverage positions need to watch out. Okay, All that said, 4-hour time frame is transitioning to a bearish microstructure, letting us know that we are moving down here. If we do end up closing below 340, 343 today, then there's a solid chance we continue lower. Once more, the reason why it's relevant is because that's a local low and we're right there at that level. We lose that, there's more propensity for further downside. For example, Solana did the same thing. It broke its 146 structure there, likely to bearish backtest that level as a resistance now. So we could see that from here, but it's a little too early to tell. So my expectation is the price will continue to progress lower just based on the simple premise that I feel Bitcoin is going lower too. Now, is it going to be a monumental pullback? Maybe not. But we need to treat it with respect here. What's more, 335, 320, we're in that support range. So dollar cost average necessary between now and $3. But I don't think we're at our bottom just yet. And that's mainly based on the premise that Bitcoin is going to continue lower. I really hope I'm wrong and the price goes high, right? But between now and then, it's better to be safer than sorry. You can thank me later. All right, appreciate you watching. Thanks so much again for being an awesome part of my life. I'm going to go ahead and post our playout chart on our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. It's all available for you here. Thanks so much for the wonderful feedback and likes, comments, all that stuff on my shorts. I've been pumping those out as well lately. People like that, so thank you, and you're welcome. Have a good one. We'll see you all in the next one. Be safe out there. Take care.